Horace Silver was a jazz pianist, composer, arranger, and band leader, and all those sorts of things from Connecticut. So he started with a fairly normal trajectory in the 50s. He played with bands, gained a reputation, became a band leader, did some recordings. He was particularly well known for being part of a group called the Jazz Messengers, which also featured Art Blakey. In the 70s, his trajectory changed somewhat. He went sideways. He started adding words to the music. He had a particular thing for spiritualism, and so wanted to promote that through his music. In the 80s, he formed his own label to get more freedom to do that. But he wasn't particularly commercially successful with those ventures. By the 90s, he eased off. He wasn't touring or playing many festivals so much, but he did do some interesting kind of one-off projects, like a thing called Rocking with Rachmaninoff and some other stuff. About 1999, he withdrew almost entirely from public life and basically retired, and in 2014 he died. Hi, my name's Dan, and this is an album of jazz, which is, I think you probably knew that was coming. So this is a jazz quintet. I only recognised the name of Horace here, and he's on the piano. We've also got a sax and trumpet and bass, which is upright bass, of course, and drums. Unusually for some groups like this, because Horace is the leader here, of course, he takes some of the soloing. So sometimes in these kind of groups, the piano's basically part of the rhythm section. Not in this case. He does do rhythm backing, whilst other people, the two brass are soloing as well. I found it all very acceptable. I always feel somewhat hampered by the fact that my understanding of jazz is quite limited. I am slowly gaining more kind of understanding more of the names and who was involved, and some about the style and what they did as I'm reviewing these albums. But my musical understanding of what's going on here is quite limited still, I have to say. There's quite a few different feels going on here. Mostly it's kind of upbeat and optimistic stuff. There's a couple of tracks which are more gentle. Predictably, a track called Peace is quite gentle, as is Melancholy Mood. I found those a bit mushy, to be honest, but so I preferred the upbeat stuff. Generally, I'd say it's quite kind of free-ish jazz. I wouldn't say it's actually properly free jazz, but it wanders around the idea of tunes and in the soloing quite freely, but not in a difficult way, not in a way I found hard to listen to. So I found it quite pleasant and quite palatable, particularly like the piano playing, I think. Some of the trumpet playing was quite nice as well, particularly. So, I mildly enjoyed it. What do you think? Are you a jazz expert? Can you tell me what's special about this album? I'd love to hear. Or just any opinions that you've got, please drop them into the comments box. And that's it from me for now.